we have a bid here to start with. It's 2 hearts, and I'm going to show you some different auctions, and I'm going to ask for your input on what you think the 2 heart bid means and why it means that. So, for instance, here we have, we're going to start out with an easy one, I hope. South opens the bidding 2 hearts. What kind of hand does South show with that bid?
Weak.
Is it strong? It might be, right? 30 years ago, it might have been very strong.
Weak.
Yeah, these days, this is a weak bid generally. Depending on what your range is, a lot of people play 5 to 10. Some people play 4 to 9 because they consider a 10-point hand with a 6-card suit a 1 bid. That's a matter of partnership agreement. And it should show a 6-card suit. So most everybody plays this as weak now. And in fact, if you still play it as strong, I believe the convention card indicates that it needs to be alerted because that is no longer standard. Okay, let's try another one. This time your partner is north and he opens a club. And now you sitting south bid 2 hearts again. Is this the same bid as the first auction?
No.
Why isn't it? What does this one show that the first one did?
This is a jump shift.
Well, it is, yes. So is this a weak bid or a strong bid?
Strong bid.
Depends on your methods. 30 years ago, that was universally strong, showing an opening hand by South. These days, most everybody plays that as not just weak, but very weak.
If
you have a strong hand, you can bid 1 heart to force the auction, right? 1 heart is forcing here, right? South's an unpassed hand. So you don't need 2 hearts to force the auction at all. So what this bid generally shows here these days is 2 to 5 high card points with at least a 6-card suit. It says, partner, unless you have the 800-pound gorilla of hands over there, fold them up. We need to play it here, and any further bidding by you is at your own risk. I am too weak to bid 1 heart. So this is the way that most players play this now. This is not showing 6 to 9 points and 6 hearts like a lot of people think. This is not the equivalent of the week 2 opening bid. This is a weaker hand than that. I mean, after all, if you have a week 2 in hearts and your partner opens, you can bid 1 heart and then you can rebid 2 hearts. As responder, that's about the weakest thing you can do. And it says, I have 6 to 9 points and I have a 6-card suit, partner. Unless you have a very good reason, you need to put down the green card. So if you have 6 to 9 points, you have a way to show that hand. This bid shows the 2 to 5 point hand. Bet you didn't know you could bid with 2 to 5 points, huh? But this hand shows 6 pieces, 2 to 5 points. We may or may not make this bid, but I'm going to try to crowd the opponents out or at least make it very difficult for them to find a fit. It's just like preempting. It is a form of preempting, but this is much, much weaker. If you still play that a jump shift by responder is game forcing, then that should be alerted. And to be honest, this particular bid does require partnership agreement, so I'd have accepted that answer as well. But these days, most everybody plays this as very weak, whether there's been an intervening bid or not. Let's say after 1 club, East bid a diamond. 2 hearts by South is still the weak jump shift. So it's whether it's a competitive auction or whether it's not a competitive auction that most people play, this is very weak. This is not a requirement. but you don't need this bid to force the auction, because any new suit by a responder who's an unpassed hand is forcing. We now have 2/1. Of course, after a one club opening, 2/1 doesn't work. But there are other ways to force to game. Most all of you know how to force to game. As responder, you just, if you want your partner to keep bidding, you just have to keep making forcing bids, which in general will be a new suit. And by the time the fourth suit is bid, now we're in a game force. So this particular bid is not needed to show anything else. And that is why somebody, if there's an unused meaning for a bid somewhere, somebody will think of it. And that's what somebody thought of here. If you have the typical week 2 opening, you can bid the suit and rebid it. And that's a signal to partner that he should fold them up, particularly with a minimum opening hand. And in this case, this is a very weak bid, and you may or may not buy the contract, but you've given yourself the best chance to buy the contract, and you've gotten your whole hand off your chest immediately. And you got to bid. I mean, with 2 to 5 points in your hand, you don't usually think you're going to get to bid. But when you have 6 cards in a suit like that, you can. So let's try another one here. Does anybody have any questions about that weak jump shift? You do not have to use the bid that way if you don't want to. But as I said, you don't need the bid for anything else. So if you and your partner agree to do that, partner just needs to remember that it's very weak. All right, let's take a look at this one. West opens a heart. Now your partner North overcalls 1 no trump. East passes and you bid 2 hearts. What does 2 hearts mean here? Is it natural? Is it a Michael's Q bid or a Western Q bid? Just a general Q bid that says nothing in particular about the hand. Is it a transfer to spades or is it something else? What do you guys think?
I think it's a transfer.
Sure. Most everybody plays that systems are on over no trump overcalls and also over balancing no trumps. So this is not any kind of a fancy Q bid at all. If you play transfers, this is just simply a transfer to spades. It says nothing at all about your heart suit. Here we have another use for a 2 heart call. Your left-hand opponent opens the club. Your partner uses a takeout double. East passes and South bids 2 hearts. What does that show? Is that weak? So I've heard some people explain that as a weak bid, that is the equivalent of a weak 2 bid. I do not play it that way. What do you guys think that it should mean?
9 to 11 with 4 cards.
Yes, and why not 5?
I don't
After
know.
new major suit at the 2 level, right?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it be 5? Your answer is correct. Don't let me talk you out of it.
I don't know why, but
Well, because if North had a 5-card suit, he'd bid it, right? Particularly a 5-card major. When a takeout double is used, in general, your partner is looking for a 4/4 major suit fit. So if that's the case, if you're looking for that, and as I said last week on the opening series that I talked about, the 4/4 major suit fit is the holy grail of bridge. That is the ideal place to play. And so if you required South to have 5 hearts here, you would lose a lot of your ability to find the 4/4 fit. North can't bid hearts with only 4 of them here. So to require South to have 5 means a whole lot of 4/4 fits would be missed. But the 2 level bid, I mean, he could bid just 1 heart, right? This is one of the biggest mistakes I see people make when they advance a takeout double. They just bid the suit at the cheapest level. Well, how's your partner supposed to know whether he should bid on if there's a fit? If you bid, say, a 5-point hand, the same way you bid an 11-point hand, he'll never know, will he? And that is the primary reason why they break down advances of takeout doubles according to how many high card points you have. And the 9 to 11 high card points, or points, whatever your hand is worth here, indicates that you should jump a level to let your partner know that you have more than a minimum advance. If he has a minimum takeout double and he knows that you have 9 to 11, he's probably going to pass. But if he has 14 or 15 and no suitable overcall, then he's probably going to bid game knowing that you have 9 to 11, or he will at least invite. So it's really helpful to the takeout doubler to know with some degree of certainty what his partner has in terms of strength. It's entirely possible that North-South could have a game here, even though West opened, isn't it? That would mean that East is broke virtually. And that's pretty much indicated by the fact that he did not bid over one club. That's a pretty good sign that he does not have 6 points. So the fact North has 11 or 12, at least, he has an opening hand with shortness and clubs. And when South shows 9 to 11 with at least 4 hearts, if North has 4 hearts also, he'll advance. This does require partnership agreement, but this is a pretty standard agreement in standard American bidding. 0 to 8 points, bid your suit at the cheapest level. 9 to 11, jump a level in your best suit. And if you have a game going hand yourself, that is 12 or more points, and you know where you need to play the contract, maybe you have 5 spades in your hand, and your partner has shown at least 3 card support for all unbid suits, then you can just bid 4 spades. But if you're not sure, let's say you have 2 4-card majors, and of course it's always possible that North has 1 4-card major and 1 3-card major, then you can Q bid the opponent's suit if you are unsure where the final contract should be played. But if you know where it should be played, you just bid it. If you're not sure, then South would bid 2 clubs here, saying, partner, I have 12 or more high card points, but I need a little information from you. After that Q bid, North should bid his 4-card suits up the line, looking with preference given, of course, to the major suits here. And hopefully you'll find a 4-4 major suit fit, but if you don't, maybe you can play no trump.
Susie.
Yes.
Susie Graves asked if most of your high card points should be in hearts.
Well, you don't have a whole lot of choice in the matter, to tell you the truth. It would be helpful. It is always better. You have a better quality hand when your high card points are in your suit, but you could have 4 small hearts and have 10 points outside, and you should still bid 2 hearts. At least I would. I'm hoping that my partner's sitting over there with ace, king, queen of hearts, maybe, or at least king, queen, or something like that. If you don't have the high cards, you got to play the hand you're dealt. Obviously, it would be best if most of your high card points, or a lot of them, were in hearts. But if they're not, don't let that stop you from showing your hand. You still need to bid your hand accurately. All right. Now we have East opening the bidding here with 1 diamond, and now South bids 2 hearts. Is this a strong bid? An intermediate level bid, say 12 to 14 points? Is it weak? Is it some sort of special thing that partners have to think of themselves? Anybody have a thought with what this might be?
Weak.
Weak.
Play it weak.
Yeah, most everybody plays this as a weak jump over call, saying to partner, I'd have opened 2 hearts if my right-hand opponent had not opened in front of me so rudely. It shows the same kind of hand that an opening call of 2 hearts would show. There are some people who play that as strong once in a while. So if you're at a tournament and you don't know your opponents, you might look at your ask to look at their convention card or ask them the meaning of the bid. But most everyone will play that as a weak jump over call, showing 5 to 10 high card points with a 6-card suit. All right, this time East opens a spade and South bids 2 hearts. What does this 2-heart bid mean? Is this showing a 2/1 game force? I put that in there because I was picking for options here. Obviously, your partner did not open the bid, so that cannot be a 2/1 game force, can it? Is that a weak bid? I mean, we said up here that 2 hearts was weak. Does it show 8 to 17 points? Does it show 12 to 17 points? Does it show 12 or more points? In other words, is it unlimited with at least 5 hearts? We're going to agree here that this shows 5 hearts at least. So what do you think?
Unlimited.
Okay, so you would bid 2 hearts with 12 points, or you would bid 2 hearts with 19, 12 points, or you would bid 2 hearts with 19?
I think 12 to 17. You
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah, 12 to 17's got it. It's a 2-level overcall, which in general should require an opening hand or really close to it. But if you have more than 17 high card points in your hand, that calls for another bid. It calls for the big double. It looks like a common garden variety takeout double, but you can't bid a 12-point hand and a 19-point hand the same way. Partner will never be able to tell what it is. So this is not an unlimited bid because he didn't double. It's capped at about 17 or whatever you and your partner use as the top number for a simple overcall. My partners and I use 7-ish. My card says 7-ish to 17 high card points for a simple overcall. So if I'm bidding this, it shows 12 to 17 total points and at least 5 hearts. It does not promise 6, only 5. If I had more than 17, I would start with a double and then bid hearts. Okay, now we have another little bit more complicated auction here. North opens a diamond. North, your partner, opens a diamond. East overcalls a spade, and you, South, double. West passes, and your partner now bids 2 clubs. East passes, and now you, as South, bid 2 hearts. Is this a strong game forcing bid? Is it forcing for 1 round? Non-forcing? Okay, impossible scenario. South should have bid 2 hearts the first time. Okay. Let's start out with a question. What does that double by South mean? What kind of double is that?
Negative.
Yeah, it's a negative double, isn't it? Showing 4 hearts. Maybe you might have 5 and just not have sufficient number of points to bid at the 2 level. Showing hearts and generally clubs. It may be 4-card support for diamonds. These are the 2 most common uses of the negative double. But when the negative double is used and then the responder bids a suit that is not one of the opener suits, it's much like using the forcing 1 no trump and bidding a suit that is not one of opener suits. Say if the auction opened 1 heart, 1 no trump forcing, 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, for instance. Responder bids a new suit, that is to play. And that is exactly what this is. This bidding sequence says, partner, I'd have opened 2 hearts if I'd had the opportunity. I was just fishing to see if you had 4 hearts here. Obviously, you do not. but I have 6 to 9 points generally is what this will be. It might, if certainly if I had 10 or more, I'd have bid 2 hearts. The negative double virtually guarantees that I don't have 10 points because I'm showing 6 hearts here. It says, partner, I don't have support for diamonds or clubs, but I do have this 6-card heart suit, and I'm hoping that you have a couple of hearts in your hand. If you have a strong enough hand, please bid on. But if you do not, I have a minimum responding hand with 6 hearts in it. And I'd have opened 2 hearts if I could have, but I couldn't. So this is the way that I have to show this hand to you. So it is a non-forcing bid. It is not forcing for 1 round because it follows the negative double. Because it follows the negative double. Yes, it's a new suit by a previously unpassed hand, but this particular bidding sequence shows a minimum responding hand with 6 cards in the suit and denies support for either minor suit here that partner has bid. The opponent's bid spades, so obviously, this is the only suit that South can have if he doesn't have support for diamonds or clubs. So this is the 3rd most common use of the negative double. There are 5 things that the negative double can be used to show, 5 types of hands. But the first one that's most common is support for the 2 unbid suits, 4-card support for the 2 unbid suits, or at least tolerance for an unbid minor, tolerance meaning 3 cards. Or if it's not the unbid minor, it could be support for opener's minor, if indeed opener bid a minor suit. So number 2 most common is unbid major and support for opener's minor. The 3rd most common hand is this one. The one that has the equivalent of a weak 2 bid in a suit. And he uses the negative double as responder to show that hand. He cannot bid 2 hearts. Without interference, he'd bid 1 heart here, right? But when you use the negative double, you either do not have 5 cards in an unbid major, or you don't have enough points to bid at the 2 level. So in this bidding situation, this shows not enough points to bid at the 2 level, but a 6-card suit. And it is non-forcing. It says to North, this is where we need to play it. As a general rule, even if North has a really nice big hand, it is better to play in the weak hand's long suit than it is to try to play in one of the stronger hands, shorter suits that may not have adequate support in the dummy. So in general, it is better to play in the weak hand's long suit when you have a situation where one hand is strong and the other one is weak but has a long suit. That's the whole idea behind this bidding sequence here. Anybody have any questions?
So what would South bid if they had a big hand?
If they had a big hand, well, it would depend on how many hearts he had. If he doubles looking for, I mean, there's no ceiling on a negative double. South could have 18 points and use a negative double, looking for a major suit fit in hearts. When North denies one, then his next bid might be a 2-spade or a 3-spade call, asking for a stopper in spades for a no-trump game. There are all kinds of things. Maybe South has support for diamonds. If he had a big hand, he might Q-bid spades next to force the bidding. You don't want to make a non-forcing bid if South has a great big hand. After he doubles and North bids 2 clubs, then if South has a spade stopper, and he just happened to have 4 hearts, he might bid 3 no trump, knowing his partner has both minors. There are all kinds of ways that he could bid if he had a strong hand. It would depend on whether or not he had a spade stopper, whether or not he had good support from one of the minor suits, and exactly how strong his hand is. If he has an invitational level hand, say he has 11 points in his hand, then he might bid 2 no trump if he has a spade stop. There are whole lots of things that he could do, and if he has no spade stop, he should take a preference back to diamonds at the 3 level, certainly. If he has only 11-ish points and partner has 12, there may not be a game there. So it all depends on what you mean by strong, and I'm sorry to be so vague, but there are a lot of different options here. With a spade stop and a strong hand, he should probably bid 3 no trump once his partner has denied having a 4-card major suit. Does that answer the question?
Yes, I think it does. Thank
Okay,
you.
you bet. Okay, here we have another bidding sequence. Your partner opens a club and East very rudely bids a spade, and now South bids, here's that 2 heart bid again. What does this mean? Does it show 5 or more hearts, and is it non-forcing? 4 or more hearts and game forcing? I mean, after all, it is a 2-over-1 bid. Is it 5 or more cards and is game forcing? 4 or more cards forcing for 1 round, 5 or more cards forcing for 1 round, or something else? What do you think? There is only one right answer here.
5 and forcing for 1 round.
Perfect. Yes. It shows 5 or more cards and it is a 1 round force. Remember, 2-over-1's off when there's an intervening bid, so it cannot be a game force. And since South is an unpassed hand and it's a new suit bid by an unpassed hand, it is forcing for 1 round only. There's a strong likelihood that North-South have a game somewhere, because South has enough to bid at the 2 level. That's 10 or more high card points and a nice heart suit, and North has a minimum of 12 usually. Usually when you have that situation, a pair will end up in game. It's only if there's no fit. And now, since North knows that South has 5 hearts, he can raise with only 3. Okay, here's another one. Now, this one does depend on how you and your partner play it. West opens a club. North bids 2 clubs. No, I'm sorry, I'm thinking about something else. Disregard that first comment. 1 club, 2 clubs by North, which most people will play as a Michael's Q bid. East passes, and South now says, okay, 2 hearts. The Michael's Q bid shows 5-5 in the major suits, and Mr. South says, I choose hearts. What is he showing North with that? Is this a 2-over-1 call? It obviously is not, is it? Does it promise 3 hearts, and is it forcing? Does it promise 3 or more hearts, and is it non-forcing? Or is it something else altogether? What do you think?
3 hearts non-forcing.
Well, so what if, as South, I have a long diamond suit and I don't have 3 hearts and I don't have 3 spades? What do I do? Do I pass 2 clubs? If I'm required to have 3 or more hearts, what am I going to do here if I don't have 3 cards in either major suit? Remember this on Michael's Q bids. When your partner chooses a suit, you are not guaranteed a 5-3 fit. Many times you will have a 5-3 or even a 5-4 fit. But many times your partner will simply be taking a preference. If he has good support for both majors, he will cue bid 3 clubs here, saying, partner, I'm good with either one, you pick. But when he bids 2 hearts, he says, I choose hearts. But he does not promise more than 2 cards. If he has a singleton, he should have more than a singleton in spades and should choose spades. So this should be at least 2 cards, but it may not be more than 2. Partner could be 2, 2, 4, 5, for instance. 2 spades, 2 hearts, 4 diamonds, and 5 clubs. And his hearts are better than his spades. So he chooses hearts. This is an important thing that people sometimes forget about Michael's cue bids. Just because your partner chooses one of those suits doesn't mean he actually has support. A cue bid is absolutely forcing for 1 round. Unless South had 6 or 7 clubs in his hand, he might pass 2 clubs. That's a possibility. But that won't happen very often, because if North has 10 cards in the major suit, he may not have any clubs. He may be 5-5-3-0. So if your partner bids a major suit and maybe you have the Maxi Michaels, don't get all excited and bid 4 hearts immediately unless you have an absolutely huge hand. You forced your partner to bid, and he made a choice. If you have the Maxi Michaels, just bid 3 hearts and see what he does. If he has support and a decent hand, he'll bid 4. But remember, guys, this is a partnership game, and you need to let your partner have input on decisions like this. And this is the way you do it. You have to remember that in the case of a cue bid or an unusual 2 no trump call, that your partner may have merely taken a preference for one of the suits that you have shown. Does that make sense to everybody? I hope. Okay, we'll move on to the next one here. This time, East opens a spade, South doubles, and North says, well, thank you very much for asking, partner. I happen to choose diamonds. East passes again, and now South says, nah, I'm bidding 2 hearts. What does this mean? Is he showing 4 or more hearts? He doubled first. Does that mean he doesn't have 5 hearts? Is he showing 5 or more hearts? Is he showing 5 or more hearts and it's a weak bid? 4 or more hearts with 18 or more points non-forcing? 5 or more hearts, 18 or more non-forcing, or something else entirely? What do you think?
5 hearts and 18 plus.
Yes, exactly. South doubled and bid a new suit. This is the reason that, I see a lot of people using a takeout double just because they have an opening hand and they don't have 3-card support for all unbid suits. And if I say something like, well, what if your partner bids clubs there or you have a stiff? Oh, well, I'll just bid this other suit. Well, I'm sorry, you only have 13 high card points. When you double and then bid a new suit, you are showing a much bigger hand. This is a hand that was too good for a simple overcall. It says, partner, I have 18 or more points and I have a nice heart suit. What do you think? Can we play at a higher level? You just bid at the minimum here. You bid your suit at the lowest level. Yeah, remember, North was forced to bid. He may not have much at all. That's why this bid cannot be forcing. But if he can bid and he has heart support, he should really try, because this says 18 or more. It may be 20 points and South doesn't have a spade stopper and he wouldn't overcall two no trump anyway. He had, because two no trump here would be unusual for the minors. So anytime you have a big hand like this, you start with a double, then you bid your suit. For instance, if he has 19 points here with a spade stop, the one no trump overcall shows 15 to 18, and two no trump is unusual. So he would double and then bid two no trump here, saying, partner, I'm too strong to overcall one no trump. I have at least 19 points and I do have a spade stop. What do you think? Can we play three no trump? So he can double and then rebid a suit or no trump to show a hand that's too strong to overcall, simply to use a simple overcall. This time, North opens a club, South bids one heart, East bids one heart, and then South bids two hearts. Is this a natural call? Is it a Michael's Q bid? Is it asking his partner for a heart stop for a possible no trump game, or is it none of the above? What do you think?
Support for clubs.
So none of the above, right? I would not ever imagine that it would be natural, because East has shown five hearts. Even if South has six hearts, he doesn't want to try to play in a trump suit where one of his opponents has five of them. That's a pretty good indication that his partner might not have any. Michael's Q bids are direct or balancing seat overcalls. They are not responders bids, so that's not right. Western Q bid generally is made at the 3 level, and that's a call that is asking for a stopper in the suit bid, which is the opponent's suit, for a possible no trump contract. So none of the above is correct, and this does show 5 or more clubs. Remember, partner may have opened on only 3, so it should show 5. It should deny a 4-card spade suit. With a 4-card spade suit, South would use the negative double. And it should say, I have limit raise values or better in clubs for you, partner. What do you think? Then if partner has a heart stop, he might bid no trump, saying, I prefer to try to go for the no trump game rather than the club game. So there are all kinds of possibilities that could happen here. South just happens to have 5 clubs in his hand. He doesn't have the unbid major, and he has limit raise or better values. And this is the way he shows it.
Why doesn't he bid 2 clubs?
Why didn't he bid 2 clubs? Because he's got better than 2 clubs would say, I have 6 to 9 points.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. 3 clubs is a possibility if you and your partner play that as limit raise, but 2 hearts takes up less space. Now, if they want to look for a no trump contract, 2 hearts allows the whole 3 level, and there's even space to bid 2 spades to show a spade stop. After that point, I would think that if North were concerned about a no trump game, he might Q bid stoppers, particularly if he doesn't have a heart stop. He would be interested in knowing whether his partner has a heart stop for a possible no trump game. And if not, they may have to play 4 of the minor, or if there are sufficient values, 5 of the minor rather than no trump. All righty.
Susie,
How many points, Susan?
How many points
does she need?
Base values would be a good 10 to a really crappy 12. Same thing that you would use if you were going to raise your partner's one of a major opening. You have 4-card support, and you were going to raise him to 3. Only in a minor suit, you promise 5-card support rather than 4, because remember, North may have only 3 clubs in his hand. All
Susan,
right.
Question
Yes.
from the chat. Can you use inverted minors with interference?
Most people play that inverted minors are off with interference. Certainly, if you and your partner want to use it, you can. But that's a matter of partnership agreement. But everybody I know plays that once there's been interference, they show limit raise values by Q-bidding the opponent's suit. The weak bid here, if you do play inverted minors, would be 3 clubs. 3 clubs would generally still be weak because you can Q-bid with limit raise or better values. That way you can obstruct the bidding when you have 5-card support. All right. Your partner opens a spade and you have this gem of a hand here. What level do you expect to play here after your partner opens 1 spade? How far are you going to drive the auction? You have 18 high card points.
I would think spade slam is definitely in play.
I would choose the spade slam simply because there's a known 9-card fed, isn't there? I'm thinking that it's going to have to be something really weird. For instance, maybe my partner has 10 or 11 high card points and a really long spade suit, and he opted to open at 1 spade rather than preempting. But I'm going to drive toward the spade slam every time. When your partner opens and you have 4-card support and 18 high card points in your hand, you need to be thinking slam. What would you respond here to 1 spade? Rhonda's husband, Scott. Scott, you are the one who answered me then, weren't you? Mm-hmm.
Yes.
What would you respond if you were holding this hand?
I wonder if 2 no trump Jacoby is a good choice.
Oh, I think it's perfect. There is no ceiling on Jacoby 2 no trump. Yeah, you could have 22 points in your hand and bid 2 no trump. That'll tell you, your partner will tell you right away whether he has shortness or whether he's a dead minimum. If he's a dead minimum, you may not have a slam, but it is certainly worth exploring. And I would start by bidding Jacoby 2 no trump there. Okay, here these last few are auctions. These are the hands. The one on the left is west, the one on the right is east. And I would like for you guys to tell me what errors, if any, you see in these auctions. Here is number 1. East opens a heart, west bids 3 hearts. East now bids 3 spades. West bids 3 no trump, and East bids 4 hearts. What
The
do you
1
think?
heart bid
The 1 heart bid is not correct, is it? Why is that not correct?
should bid 1 spade.
Exactly. And is there anything else wrong with this auction? Do you see anything else?
I think West 3 heart raise doesn't show just a 3-card suit.
Right. I think you're exactly right, Scott. 3 hearts is promises in blood, 4-card support. West needs to bid 2 clubs first. Be 1 spade, 2 clubs, 2 hearts. Now, it depends on your methods. West can bid 2 no trump. And then North would need to rebid hearts, saying, I have 5 hearts, and I have at least 5 spades. I may have 6 spades. So it should go 1 spade, 2 clubs, 2 hearts, 2 no trump, 3 hearts, 4 hearts. The contract is correct, but the bidding leaves a lot to be desired. So when his partner opened a heart and he has 3-card support, that makes no sense to me. but these are auctions that I have taken from some of our online games. So, now here we have another one. See what you think about this. This time East opened a spade. That's right, isn't it? Good start. 2 no trump by West. This is clearly not the Jacoby forcing raise. This is this shows fewer than 3-card spade support, no 5-card heart suit, and 11 or 12 high card points. So this is not a bad call, particularly if you don't play Jacoby 2 no trump. Now East bids 3 hearts. That's you can see why he's not particularly crazy about no trump. So he bids 3 hearts. West bids 3 no trump, saying, well, I don't have 3 spades and I don't have 4 hearts. So here I am. I'm just going to bid 3 no trump. And East now says, oh, well, I have 19 high card points. I'm going to bid 4 no trump. Is 4 no trump after 3 no trump, Ace asking?
No.
No, it is not. But West forgot that evidently and showed one ace. This is not key card, obviously. And then East bid 6 no trump. Does that have a possibility of making? Absolutely it does. This isn't horrible. But the problem here is that East didn't finish describing his hand. Over 3 no trump, he needs to bid 4 hearts. But if he can make 6 no trump, everything ought to be fine. He's got 2 spade tricks. He's got 5 heart tricks for 7, 8. Now he needs 4 diamond tricks, and I don't think he's going to get it. He's going to have to find either the queen of spades in the pocket or the king of clubs, one of the two. So it has a shot, but it's going to be tough. It'll be tough.
A question from the chat. Please explain the 2 no trump response again.
2 no trump response is what is a bid that is what people use who don't play Jacoby 2 no trump over a major suit opening. It shows 11 or 12 high card points. It should show 2 card support for the major suit because you don't want to bid no trump with a singleton. If you got a singleton, you have another suit you can bid. And a balanced hand, basically. It's the same 2 no trump as what 2 no trump would be over 1 diamond. And in this case, it pretty much denies 4 hearts. If you bid 2 no trump, you have enough to bid 2 hearts. If you have five of them, I'm sorry, he should have 5 to respond 2 hearts. So this is the same sort of bid that 2 no trump over one of a minor would be, with the exception that when responder bids 2 no trump over a minor, he denies a 4-card major suit. So it's 11 or 12 at a balance.
But if you no, then that would be a wrong answer, right?
Well, if you don't play Jacoby 2 no trump, that could be totally right. You know, according to your partnership agreements, if you and your partner don't play Jacoby 2 no trump, then that's an appropriate bid. That's that looks pretty good if you don't play Jacoby 2 no trump. But I would argue that Jacoby 2 no trump is worth learning, but not my call. Auction number 3, East opens a heart again here. West bids 2 no trump with 3 card support, and they play 3 no trump. Would you want to play 3 no trump with that East hand? I don't understand this auction at all, to tell you the truth. Why West would bid 2 no trump holding 3 card heart support. You should bid 2 clubs and then jump to 3 hearts, and then they play 4 hearts. He can control the club suit, for instance, and he can control the spades. I mean, he could end up making a lot of hearts on this hand. Now, here we have one that's an auction that's interesting. Notice this is a 4-loser hand here by East. It only has 19 high card points in it, but it's 4 losers, and this East chose to open at 2 clubs. That's not horrible. It's not. You only have to have 14 high card points in your hand to open 2 clubs, but I personally prefer to have a lot of more defense than a 14-point hand would. So 2 clubs, 2 diamonds by West. Now 2 spades by East. West says 2 no trump. 3 hearts by East. 3 no trump by West. This is pretty much right. He doesn't have 3 spades and doesn't have 4 hearts. Now East bids 4 hearts, saying, I have a big hand with with at least 5 spades and 5 hearts in it. And West says, enough said, 6 hearts. And I don't blame West at all for bidding 6 hearts. I know that my partner has 5 of them. He's opened 2 clubs, showing me a 4 loser hand, and I have 11 high card points. So getting to 6 hearts here is this is not a half bad auction at all. I can't guarantee that 6 hearts is going to make, but based on the bidding, I would go right along with West and say that he's absolutely right to bid 6 hearts. East opens a spade here on this next one. South passes, and now West says 1 no trump forcing. Here we have a pair that plays 2 over 1. East jumps to 3 hearts because he has 19 to 21 high card points with an unbalanced hand. And remember, this was not a game force here, so we can jump. If West had bid 2 clubs, then East would just bid 2 hearts, because after a 2 over 1 response, you don't jump. The East jumps to show the hand that is just under a 2 club opening point-wise. West says, well, don't have 3 spades, I don't have 4 hearts, so I'm bidding 3 no trump, and now East bids 4 hearts, and West passed. West has 11 high card points. He knows there's a heart fit, and he knows that his partner had a hand just beneath being able to open 2 clubs. West should bid on in this case. This bidding sequence is certainly enough to tell him that they have more than 4 hearts, or there is a strong possibility that they have more than 4 hearts. Whoops, 1 too many.
Sherry
Number
has,
6. Pardon me?
Sherry has a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So does the rebid of hearts say, hey, I have 5 hearts? And if so, why not rebid the spades and say I have, oh, forget it. The spade opening says 5.
Because bidding spades then hearts then spades would show 6-4, not 6-5.
So spades, hearts shows 5-5.
Yeah, well, at least 5 spades. It may be 6 spades.
Okay. But the second heart bid shows 5 hearts and not 6.
5 cards, yes,
Okay.
absolutely. This is the way you show a 5-5 hand here in the major suits. Okay, this time East starts with a spade, and we have a 2 no trump call, then 3 hearts, then 3 no trump, then 4 hearts. This again is no Jacoby 2 no trump here. So they end up in 4 hearts. 4 hearts is not a bad contract, but with any kind of luck at all, it's going to make 6. And you don't have to have the fancy tools to get to 6 hearts on this hand. Auction number 2 got to 6 no trump. I would argue that 6 hearts is safer, but if you want to play 6 no trump, that's fine. If you want your partner to play it, then you bid 6 no trump. If you want to play it, you bid 6 hearts, I guess, because your partner was the first person to bid 2 no trump here. This is essentially the same auction as number 2, except they stopped in 4 hearts because East correctly rebid his hearts over 3 no trump.
Susan,
Yes.
from the chat, how do you bid this when partnership plays 2 over 1?
Well, the West hand only has 11 high card points in it, so the proper response would be 1 no trump forcing. Auction number 5 would be correct as far as it goes, but after East jump shifts to 3 hearts, 1 no trump, 3 hearts, that's a jump shift, showing 19 to 21 total points, and then rebids hearts showing 5 of them. West should not pass 4 hearts. One no trump forcing first, 3 hearts, 3 no trump, 4 hearts. Now you can just bid 6 hearts here. You could bid 4 no trump, does not necessarily agree hearts as trumps. So I think in this instance, unless you have some very sophisticated bidding tools, Wes should just bid 6 hearts. He knows his partner has 5 of them, and he knows his partner has a great big old hand. All right. Which one of these auctions fits these 2 hands? This is going to have to be it that we wind up here. West is the dealer. First one is West opens a spade. North overcalled 2 diamonds. East bid 2 hearts. South passes. West bids 2 spades. East bids 3 spades and West bids 4 spades. Is this a good auction for these 2 hands? Are there any errors in this auction?
Doesn't the 2 heart bid mean 5 hearts?
It does indeed, yes, and it promises at least 10 points. Well, I guess he does have 10 points. 4 and 6 is 10. Yeah, there are 10 points, but he doesn't have a 5th heart. So, with only 2 card spade support, having 10 points, he can bid. Well, he'd have to bid 3 clubs. I might use a negative double here myself. That shows 4 hearts. And then when the bidding comes back around to West, what does he know? We've talked about, last week we talked about the superiority of the 4-4 fit. This is how you find a 4-4 heart fit on a hand like this. Notice if you can set up the spades in the declarer's hand, you could pitch all kinds of club losers off that dummy. But if you play spades, you don't get any pitches off the heart suit because both hands have 4 cards in it. So first thing I would say here is 1 spade's fine, but 2 hearts is not good. You need to have a 5th heart. But since you don't, you can use the negative double. And if you do, then this pair will find the 4 heart bid. This next auction, the pair found 4 hearts.
But Susan, on that one, a negative double, don't you have to have 3 diamonds to do that?
I have 3 diamonds. Why do I have to? No, I'm just showing support for, I'm showing an unbid major and tolerance for clubs. The opponent's bid diamonds. Why do I need to have 3 diamonds?
You're right. Sorry.
That's okay. That's on this next one. East West got to the correct contract, but even if you get to the correct contract, if your bidding is unsound, that means that on the next hand you may not get to the right contract at all. They got to the right place, but this bidding obviously isn't good because you don't bid 2 hearts with only 4 of them. And here we have 1 spade, North bids 2 diamonds, and East passed. South then bid 3 diamonds, West bid 3 spades, and East bid 4 spades. That's a very interesting auction to me. I find it very unusual that East would pass and then raise to 4 spades. I don't know why East passed here. Maybe he doesn't know the negative double, or maybe he just didn't know what to do. He knows he's afraid to bid 3 clubs. I would be afraid to bid 3 clubs too. But if you don't know the negative double, 3 clubs is certainly an option. You have 10 high card points, so that shouldn't worry you too much. And you also have a 5 card suit, so no worries. So out of this one, I don't see any of these auctions that thrill me, to tell you the truth. Here are the other. These are the other auctions here that I showed. Here, East did use the negative double. West bid 2 hearts, East bid 3 hearts, and then bid the game. Number 6 here is a good auction. If you wanted to play, if you play 2 over 1, 1 spade, 1 no trump forcing here is perfect. when you don't get any competition from North here. This North did not bid 2 diamonds. So when West bids 2 hearts, East invites by bidding 3. And this is a good auction also for, this is the way the auction should go when it's non-competitive. So there are several here, depending on whether or not your opponents interfered. In this case, East bid 2 hearts incorrectly, and then after West bid 2 spades with 10 high card points and a doubleton in diamonds, he didn't raise to 3 spades. I think you can see that you want to be in game on these 2 hands. So that's the end of it for this morning.
Hi, this is Susan. Thanks for watching this video today. Most of these videos come from our free bridge lessons that we present on Zoom every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Central Time. If you'd like to join us for those lessons, you can email us at the address shown below and we'll send you the link. If you can't attend the lessons, then feel free to subscribe to our channel and you'll be notified when there is a new one added. Again, thanks for stopping by and we hope to see you soon.